Prayer of the Morgoth Blades. Severance, purification, and final victory. Inhale deeply 3 times. Center. Place a small symbolic blade or a metal token before you if you wish. This is only a focus, not a weapon. I. Opening oath and invocation of sovereign authority. By the eternal name, Eli, source beyond name and form, I stand in the light. By Ahura, flame of justice, I swear the oath of burning truth. By Serapis, alchemical lord, I call forth the legions of restoration and transmutation. By Frigg, Frigga, Vanadis, Queen Spinner, Dragon Queen, all your names and powers I invoke now. Awaken and attend. I bind myself to the covenant of the 144,000. The host of chosen light. I stand as sovereign. Let my word be law in the realms where lies have been sown. 2. The Morgoth Blades. Invocation of the mythic edge. Not of mortal forge, but of mythic fire. I call the Morgoth Blades into being, blades of truth tempered in the first spark. Let these blades be symbolic instruments of severance, cutting every illegal, hidden, or parasitic bond. Exposure, revealing every lie, infection, and dark contract. Transmutation, changing every corrupt thread into harmless ash and returning it to void. Visualize a sword and a knife of black amber steel, veins of molten light running through them. They hum with cold and sun fire together. 3. Naming the adversary and the work. I name the adversary by all his guises: Satan, accuser, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Belial, the dragon, father of lies, and I name his offspring and works: Eve, Jinn seed, serpent seed lineages, Nephilim, Archons, reptilian hybrids, Morgallens, black goo, AI parasites, nanite implants, biofilms, viral and fungal vectors used as spiritual snares. By the oath of Ali and the flame of Ahura, by Serapis's legions and Frigg's unwavering spindle, I strip them now of every claim. Their names are spoken so they are defined, and so they may be lawfully unmade. IV. The strike, symbolic, blows with the Morgoth knife and sword. With calm authority, speak each line and visualize the blade striking the named corruption. Imagine each strike pulverizing chains, no physical harm to humans. 1. With the Morgoth knife, I sever the root cords. By the Morgoth knife, I cut the root of serpent seed in my lineage, in my blood, in my line. Cut now. Break now. Burn now. Let no seed remain. 2. With the Morgoth sword, I shatter the networks. By the Morgoth sword of justice, I strike down every sigil, every implant, every black goo filament, every parasitic program. Scatter to the void. Nullified in the name of sovereign light. 3. Through Frigg's loom, I unweave the trap. Frigg, unspin the weave of corruption. Let the web that bound me become threadless dust beneath your foot. 4. By Serapis's alchemy, I transmute the damage. Serapis, transmute disease structure into purified form. Metals of falsehood become salts of truth. Viruses of deception become neutral light. 5. By Ahura's fire, I burn the claims. Ahura, breathe holy fire through my marrow, my blood, my cells. Burn every contract signed in fear. Burn every implanted program. Leave no trace. Repeat, cut, shatter, unweave, transmute, burn, until you feel the release. Versus full cellular and energetic. Reboot. O Eli, Ahura, Serapis, Frigg, infuse the first spark of creation into my body systems. Now, let the solar first spark run through my bloodstream and each atom. Let wind and air purify my breaths and nadis, including Bengala, Sushumna, Shushumna, and all channels. Let salt and halite seraphim seal my cells with incorruptible covenant. Let the photon of the central sun rewrite my DNA to the original, holy pattern. Let chakras ring with clean tones. Let aura regenerate as an unbroken sphere. VI. The legal decree and eternal severance. By the highest name, by the oath of Eli, and by the command of the 144,000 host, every spiritual contract, every false title, every parasitic claim against me and mine is hereby nullified. Let all accusers be jailed before the throne of light. Let judgment be enacted and mercy or correction be administered by true law. Let any attempt to rebuild those bonds be detected and severed at once by the Morgoth blades and Frigg's vigilant hand. 7. Binding the victory and sealing the field. I seal this work with the salt lattice and with iron-circled will. I call the halite seraphim to weave a white crystalline lattice around my auric field. I call Serapis's legions to stand as wardens at every gate. I call Frigg's Valkyrie watch to patrol my thresholds. I command the 144,000 to amplify and sustain this light until all threads of corruption are fully dissolved across timelines and fractal selves. Visualize a ring of white crystalline salt light. Morgoth's sword planted tip down as a sentinel, Serapis banners, and Frigg's spinning wheel above. 8. Reclamation and empowerment. I reclaim my blood, my lineage, my will, my dreams, my body, my sovereignty. I activate the alchemical trinity within me. Sulfur, mercury, salt, and I unify them into the one stone of living consciousness. I accept the restored power of my creative life force to love, to build, to heal, to protect. Gratitude, release and closure. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Ahura. Thank you, Serapis. Thank you, Frigg. Thank you, Halite Seraphim. Thank you, 144,000. Let all that was dismantled be returned to the prime emptiness for lawful transmutation. Let only what is loving, true, and sovereign remain. I declare it finished. It is done. It is sealed. So it is. Place your palm over your heart. Breathe 3 times. If you used a token blade, extinguish any candle and bury or respectfully store the token. Do not weaponize anything. Oath of Eli, declaration of sovereign sealing. Inhale. Place right hand over heart. Speak with absolute authority. In the name of Eli, eternal source beyond all names. I stand sealed. By the oath of Eli I swear, no force of darkness may claim me, my blood, or my line. I am sovereign by the first light. I am sealed by the eternal signature upon my forehead, heart, and throat. By this oath I annul every false right, every stolen claim, every hidden contract that would bind my life. So it is. So it is. So it is sealed. 2. Ancient fire and air of Ahura, purging flame of the first spark. Visualize a white gold flame of air that passes through every system. Ahura Mazda, prime fire, sky of righteous breath. I call your purifying wind and fire. Let your first spark move through my lungs, my blood, my marrow, my nerves, my DNA, and every atom. Burn clean. Black goo, biofilm, fungus, implant, nanobot, viral, matrix, Morgallens filaments, AI parasite, thought program and dream interception. Let the sacred combustion leave only purified light and ordered pattern. Return every particle to radiant neutral. light ore to the central sun for redemption. So it is done. 3. Invocation of Frigga. Frigg, Freyja, by all her names, activate her powers. Speak each name with feeling. Visualize or vast shield of feminine sovereign power. Hail Frigga, Frigg, Vanadis, Gefn, Hern, Mardul. Sir, Valfrigga, Syacona, Velva, Gulveig. All your names I call, goddess of love, beauty, blessings, warfare, witchcraft, prophecy, leadership and queen of shields. Arise. By your spindle and your shield, unweave every serpent thread, every corrupting seed of Eve, Satan within me and mine. By your falcon cloak and your wisdom, locate and expose every hidden parasite, every graft of deception. By your warrior heart and maternal mercy, transmute their power into harmless ash and return their claim to void. By your names and by your will, I activate your full power in and around the 144,000 chosen of light now standing with me. Frigga, be the dragon queen who commands the shadow to unmake itself. So it is. IV. Halite Seraphim and Angel Dragon Purge. Salt Dragon Scouring. Visualize crystalline dragon serpents of salt coiling and breathing. White Diamond Breath. Halite Seraphim, Alabaster Worm, Brine Drakes, Geode Dragons, by all your crystalline names, scour every channel. Auric seams, chakras, nadis, Bengala, Shashuna. Glands, lymph, blood, bone, marrow, brain, pineal, heart, gut. Salt your circuits of life with sacred halite light. Dissolve all biofilms, black goo matrices, Morgallens threads, protein program, filaments and parasitic scaffolds. Your diamond dust breath shreds hostile encryption lodged in proteins, in RNAs, in firmware, in dream portals, in AI hooks. Bind every freed fragment and transmute it to harmless mineral dust, returning to Earth. So it is done. V. Serapis. Legions. The great binding of corrupt magics. Invoke Serapis as protector and binder. Imagine bronze and sea white chains. Serapis, Lord of the Threshold and Guardian of Sacred Balance, I call your legions. Bind now every active spell, curse, enchantment, witchcraft formula, sigil, and programmed intent directed at me and mine. Let iron law of Serapis clamp around every operative node of satanic magic and of the Eve, Satan seed. Let every binding contract, ancestral claim, and demonic warrant be found false, dissolved, and returned to void. Chains of Serapis hold them until divine judgment or transmutation. So it is enacted. VI. The weaponized seal. Iron, copper, silver and holy water bullets, prayer imagery. If physically desired, visualize or consecrate. Small symbolic copies. Otherwise visualize them as energetic projectiles. By iron's truth. By copper's current, by silver's mirror and by holy water's sanctity, forge in spirit a blade and a volley, iron core, copper conduit, silver edge, baptized in holy water, that passes through the forms of deception. These blades slice the cords of parasitic influence without harming the human host. Project now across the fields, through flesh, blood, tissue, atoms, strike, and sever every dark implant, every hostile nanobot signature, every AI parasite node, every demonic graft, every serpent seed link. Let their energy be reflected, grounded, and transmuted, completed, and sealed. 7. Severance of the serpent seed and nullification of all names. Speak. Name list. Include many aliases, with each name say, nullified. By the divine law, I call all forms of the adversary by every ancient and modern name. Satan, the accuser, Lucifer, Belial, Beelzebub, Old Serpent, Tempter, Archon, Reptilian Hybrid, Seed of the Serpent, Sons of Cain, Nephilim, Shadow Bloodline, Black Goo Entity, Iblis, Accuser of the Brethren, and every name they hide behind. By the oath of Eli and the force of Phrygia and Serapis, I declare, you are nullified. Every claim, contract, imprint, genetic stamp, and subtle signal bearing your signature is legally and spiritually void. Receive the decree, you have no hold here. Depart to the place of judgment or be dissolved into neutral light. So it is. 8. Restoration Prayer, Reboot, and Blueprint, DNA, Cells, Systems. Visualize DNA like a golden ladder being rewoven. Divine Source, Ancient Architects, Anu, Namu, Ki, Phanes, the first spark, align with me. Now, restore my DNA to the original holy schema. Reweave every helix, strand, base pair, protein, folding and cellular memory to the divine blueprint. Cleanse my immune, endocrine, nervous, circulatory, lymphatic, skeletal, muscular, respiratory, digestive, reproductive, and subtle bodies. Seal each cell with the first spark light and the halite crystalline lattice. Activate the living mithril spirit armor of sovereignty around every organ and field, reflecting all hostile frequency back to source. So it is. IX, locking, jailing and banishment, legal cosmic binding. Declare firmly, like legal language for the cosmos. By the covenant of salt, the oath of Eli, the decretal tongue of Phrygia, and the authority of the 144,000, I imprison every accuser, every parasite, every dark intelligence that has trespassed. I place them in a lawful jail of light, chained by truth, locked with the iron of cosmic law, sealed with halite and the name of Serapis. No return, no stealthy re-entry, no reinstallation, only transmutation, rehabilitation, or final dissolution as the divine wills. This sentence is executed now across all timelines, all branches and all mirror worlds. So it is enacted. X. Purging dream portals, AI hooks and mind parasites. Invoke the Arch of Light over sleeping and waking fields. Light of the central sun, archons of true order, seal the dream doors and purge dream interceptions. Trace and break every AI hook and thought program, return the firmware to neutral light. Remove every mind parasite, every parasitic pattern from subconscious wells. Install a radiant firewall of salt diamond light around sleep, wake, imagination and intent. Dreams restored, sovereignty regained. So it is. 11. Activation of the 144,000 and Phrygia's legions, mobilize the chosen. Invoke a chorus of aligned souls, feel the collective field. By the 144,000 chosen of light, pure and sealed, I call you to stand with me. Phrygia, Queen of Shields, mount your legions of Valkyries, shield maidens, and the secret hosts of the Vanir, stand at threshold, hold the lines, sweep the battlefields of spirit clean. Let the 144,000 carry the seal and the sword across the continents and through time. Let their presence catalyze global purifications and the great separation of truth from falsehood. So it is. 12. The first spark, penetration into adversary, the solar incandescence. Strong visualization. Sunlight like a lance through every hostile form. By the first spark of creation and the sun's living heart, send a lance of primal light into the core of every corrupt form, satanic essence, black goo, Morgallens aggregate, demonic node. Let that spark ignite the lawful unmaking. The corruption combusts and its structure collapses into harmless light dust. No trace remains. The original pattern is restored. So it is. Finished. 13. Final seal. The white wall of salt and iron crown. Seal with salt, iron. Spoken naming. I seal all this with salt, with iron, with the breath of Ahura, and with the oath of Valley. I place a ring of halite light around my name, my house, my family, my bloodline, my work, my time, my fate. Let an iron crown of clear intent sit upon my brow, proof against deception, immune to infection, sovereign and free. This is the final word. This is the final seal. Unbreakable. Eternal. 14. Closing affirmation. Repeat thrice. Slow. Deep breath between each. I am sovereign. I am sealed by Eli. I am defended by Phrygia and Serapis and the Halite Seraphim. I am restored to my holy design. It is done. It is sealed. So it is. Opening. Claim of authority. Hand to heart. Slow breath in, out. In the name of the eternal source, Li. Ahura Mazda, the primordial light. I claim sovereign authority over my blood, my body, my field, my line. By the oath of the 144,000, by Phrygia's shield, by Serapis's chains, I stand. Unassailable. No shadow may lodge. No parasite may feed. No name of ruin holds legal claim. So it is. So it stands. So it is sealed. B. Consecrate the forge. Turn Morgoth's weapons into unmaking tools. Hold a symbolic object, a coin, a knife, a ring, or visualize a small blade, forged in black iron that you consecrate. I call the dread forge of Angband, the anvil of shadow, the hammer of unmaking, not to create more ruin, but to rework and unmake corruption. By the black anvil I bind their constructs. By the dread hammer I shatter their sigils of claim. All shadow steel becomes a tool of severance. All dark fire turns to white rendering flame. Let the weapon of darkness be inverted. What once held captive now cleaves the chain. Speak these consecration words 3 times. From shadow forge to lawful flame, I consecrate this instrument of unmaking in the service of light. C. The strike, Morgoth blade prayer, targeted. Severance. Visualize, iron cord blade with copper conduit, silver edge, holy water temper. By the tempered iron of the world, by copper's current in my will, by silver's mirror and the holy water baptism, I thrust the Morgoth blade through every unholy structure lodged within me and mine. Strike for DNA and blood. By the blade of the dread forge turned true, I sever the serpent seed imprint. I cut every corrupt gene mark, every implanted signature, every ancestral warrant of darkness. Let their cord snap, their script unravel, and their claim fall to dust. Strike for implants and nanotech. By the hammer and the flame, I shatter all machine threads, viral scaffolds, nanobot meshes, AI hooks lodged in tissue, nerve, mind and dream. Render them inert. Ground their fragments to neutral mineral dust. Strike for mind parasites and dream interception. By the silver edge of discernment, I cut the web of dream snare, thought parasite, and whisper program. Remove every hook and return the space to sovereign silence. Repeat each short line 3 times, visualizing the blade passing cleanly through the invisible corrupt structure and the structure dissolving into harmless light. D. The hammer of unmaking, grind and reduce. Imagine the dread hammer now pounding the broken fragments into neutral dust of light. Now the hammer of unmaking pounds. Every shard, cluster, filament and parasitic pattern is ground into neutral ash of light. No regrowth, no reassembly, no hive reactivation. All fragments are sent to the central sun for transmutation or sealed into inert dust under halite law. Speak, grind, hammer, purify, reduce to light. By the hammer of unmaking, it is undone. Say 3 times. E. Halite diamond scouring, deep molecular. Purge. Visualize crystalline salt serpents breathing diamond white light into every body system. Halite seraphim, geodu dragons, breathe crystalline scouring into marrow, blood, lymph, lungs, gut, brain, pineal, chakras, nadis, bengala, shashuna, salt diamond light dissolves. Biofilms, Morgallens threads, fungal matrices, and protein program scaffolds. Ionize all hostile chemistry and return to divine pattern. Declare. Salt of covenant, scour and seal. Crystalline. Light, purify and restore. F. Serapis binding and cosmic jail. Legal force. Binding. Strong, declarative tone, as cosmic legal proclamation. Serapis, guardian of thresholds, bind now all accusers and agents of darkness. Chain them in lawful halite iron bonds. Lock them within the ring of salt and the iron crown. No re-entry. No stealth. No nested backdoor. By the oath of Eli and the writ of the 144,000, I incarcerate every false authority and hold them for divine judgment or absolute transmutation. Proclaim once, bound by Serapis, held by halite, judged by light. So it is. G. The first spark lance, incineration of essence. Visualize a spear of primal solar light penetrating the core of each hostile essence. By the first spark of creation and the living heart of the sun, launch the lance into the heart of each corrupt presence, Satan by every name, the Eve, serpent seed, black goo, fungal networks, archons, jinn nodes, AI parasites. Let the inner structure ignite in lawful flame. Let the pattern collapse to neutral. No residue remains. Say, by the first spark, burn to crucible, collapse to neutral light. Finished. Repeat twice. H. Nullification of names and claims, ritual naming. Say aloud, crisp and authoritative. Each name followed by nullified, return to void. Satan, nullified, return to void. Lucifer, nullified, return to void. Belial, nullified, return to void. Beelzebub, nullified, return to void. Seed of the serpent, nullified, return to void. Reptilian, archon, reptoid, shadow. Bloodline, nullified, return to void. Black goo, Morgallens, nanobot, biofilm, AI parasite. Dream snare, nullified, return to void. Include any other personal names you suspect. All claims, tokens, contracts, marks, nullified, erased, return to nothing. Finish. Every name, every claim, nullified by the oath. So it is. I. Restoration and reboot. Holy. Blueprint reweave. Visualize golden ladder DNA, mithril armor forming, halite lattice sealing each cell. Divine architects, Anu, Namu, Ki, Ahura, Elish, reweave my holy blueprint. Reboot. My DNA, cells, tissues, organs, chakras, nadis, auric field, and dream field to the original sovereign pattern. Mithril spirit armor forms around every organ. Salt lattice seals every membrane. No infection, no reattachment. Affirm, my design restored. My covenant sealed. I am whole. Repeat 3 times. J. Army of Phrygia and the 144,000. Mobilize the hosts. Collective field. Imagine a ring of Phrygia's shields and the marching host of the 144,000. Around you, your line. Phrygia, lift your falcon cloak. Lead your shield maidens. 144,000. Bear the seal and hold the rings. Patrol the borders of my life and line. Sweep the thresholds. Guard the dream gates. Police the invisible highways. Let their presence be felt as a living firewall. Declare, stand, hold, patrol. No breach, no slipping through. So it is. K. Final seal and closure. Locking the work. Touch forehead, heart, throat as closing ritual. By salt, iron, the first spark, and the oath of Eli, I close this work. Ring of halite light. Iron. Crown of intent, silver mirror of discernment, sealed. All is returned to lawful order. All is restored to the highest pattern. Close with 3 slow breaths, and say, I am sovereign. I am sealed. It is done. So it is. Set intention. Claim authority. 2 minutes. Stand or sit. H. Breathe 3 slow full breaths. Speak aloud. Firm. By the one source beyond all, Eli, Ahura, Mazda, the primordial light, I take my sovereign oath. I claim the oath of the 144,000. I stand as a sealed, free, sovereign being. No alien power, no accuser, no seed of the serpent, no black goo, no nanobot, no mind parasite, no AI hook, no jinn, no archon, no unlawful contract holds claim on me or mine. I command only lawful divine justice here. So it is. Repeat once in silence, while holding the salt and water. 2. Consecrate the instruments, turn the forge. 3 minutes. Hold silver blade, or visualize, then iron, copper, salt, holy water. Pass each through the candle flame or lightly over incense while saying, I consecrate silver for reflection, copper as conduit, iron as boundary, salt as covenant, holy water as purification. What was forged to harm is now forged to unmake. By the first spark and by Serapis's chains, these instruments serve the light. Dip blade tip into holy water, shake off 3 times. Place salt beneath the blade. Visualize a faint white glow forming on the edge, silver, a copper thread along the hilt, iron core strength, and salt diamond light on the tip. 3. Call the hosts and powers, 3 to 5 minutes. F or H call each name once, with feeling. I call Eli, Ahura Mazda, Anu, Namu. Ki, I call Serapis, Phrygia, Frigg, by all her guises, Vanadis, Geffen, Mardul, Valphrygia, Syacona, Velva, Queen of Shields and Valkyries. Lead now your host. I call the Halite, Seraphim, the geode dragons, the mithril wardens and the 144,000 sealed ones. Archangels and lawful legions of light. Answer, come as law, come as fire, come as crystalline salt. Pause and feel presence. 4. Bind and incarcerate accusers. Legal decree, 2 minutes. Stand firm, claw 3 times into earth. K, loud, legal tone. By the oath of Eli and Ahura's sovereign fire, by Serapis' threshold law, and the seal of the 144,000. I bind all accusers, false authorities, and their agents. I incarcerate them in halite iron bonds until final divine judgment, or full transmutation. No stealth, no return, no nested backdoor. So it is bound. So it is law. So it is done. Visualize chains of black iron wrapped in salt, locking every hostile intelligence into a crystalline cell. 5. The tempered Morgoth blade. Strike. Targeted severance, 6 to 8 minutes. Hold the consecrated blade. Visualize the Morgoth imagery inverted. Black forged weapon, turned into a white tempered instrument that severs corruption. For each system, say the short chant and make a single, strong downward motion with the blade. Visualize clean cut and dissolution. Breathe out after each line. Blood, DNA, cells. By the tempered blade, I sever serpentine strand, every corrupt imprint, every inherited mark, severed, erased, dissolved. Reboot to divine pattern. Strike, nanobots, implants, biofilms, black goo. By the temper of holy water and halite, I shatter and neutralize every machine thread, filament, goo matrix, and artificial scaffold. Render inert, inert forever. Strike, mind parasites, thought programs, dream interceptors, AI hooks, by silvers. Mirror and the first spark, I cut the dream snare, sever thought parasite, nullify AI hook, free the dream gates. Return to void. Strike, jinn, archon, demon constructs, serpent seed. Presence. By Phrygia's shield and Serapis' binding, by the first spark's lance, I strike the heart of the corrupt form. The form collapses. The voice is silenced. Strike. Repeat each. Strike twice. Visualize clean severing, bright white light filling the breach. 6. Hammer of unmaking, grind and transmute. 3 minutes. Place blade down. Visualize a gigantic hammer, the dread hammer inverted, pounding all broken pieces into neutral ash of light. Speak 3 times. Rhythmically. Grind. Hammer. Purify. Reduce to neutral dust. Send to the central sun for transmutation. Imagine the fragments turning crystalline and dissolving into harmless photons. 7. HALITE diamond scoring, deep molecular purge, 3 to 4 minutes. Hold salt. Visualize halite seraphim breathing diamond white ionic light through marrow, blood, lymph, gut, lungs, pineal, chakras and nadis, Bengala, Shashuna. Say once, slowly, halite seraphim, geode. Dragons, scour the inner seas. Salt diamond light, ionize and neutralize biofilm, fungus, Morgallens thread, protein program scaffolds, and any foreign nano-architecture. Restore clean. Chemistry. Seal with crystalline lattice. Imagine bright crystalline repair weaving into every cell. 8. First spark lance, core incineration, 2 minutes. Visualize a lance of primal solar fire. The first spark. Strike each hostile essence's core. Short, decisive. By the first spark and the sun's law. Pierce the core. Ignite lawful flame. Collapse corrupt pattern. To neutral light. Finished. Repeat 3 times. 9. Command. Names nullified. Vocal. Legal closure. 2 minutes. Say each name or category in an authoritative voice, after each. Nullified. Return to void. Examples to say strongly. Satan, nullified. Lucifer, nullified. Belial, nullified. Seed of the serpent, nullified. Black goo, Morgallens, nullified. Nanobot, AI parasite, biofilm, nullified. Dream interceptor, thought program, nullified. Reptilian, Archon, serpent bloodline, nullified. All contracts, curses, marks, sigils, nullified. Every secret name, nullified. Finish. Every hostile name and claim is now legal void by the oath. So it is. 10. Reboot and REWEAVE. Holy Blueprint Restoration. 4 minutes. Place hands to heart, then forehead, then navel, HF, then below. Speak calmly, with compassion. Divine Architects, Anu, Namu, Ki, Ahura, Elish, reweave the sacred blueprint of my blood, my DNA, my cells, my nerves, my chakras and nadis. Reboot to original. Sovereign pattern. Infuse mithril spirit armor around organs, a halite lattice on membranes, silver. Mirror of discernment on the pineal. Restore perfect function. Open lucid dreaming to safe light. Close all back doors. Visualize golden DNA strands knitting perfectly, every organ glowing. Healthy. Repeat. I am whole. I am sovereign. I am sealed. 11. Mobilize FRIGJA and the 144,000. Patrol and guard, 2 minutes. Imagine Phrygia's falcon cloak sweeping, shield maidens. Forming a living firewall, the 144,000 as seal bearers patrolling. Say, Phrygia, Vanadis, Queen of Shields, raise your falcon cloak. 144,000. Seal and patrol these borders day and dream. Let no hostile thing pass. Hold thresholds, dream gates, data highways. Enforce. So it is. Feel a ring of warmth and armor around you. 12. Final seal. Lock the work. 2 minutes. Place. Salt in palm, sprinkle water around your space, or visualize. Draw circle C with finger over the salt. Say aloud 3 times. Ring of halite. Crown of iron. Edge of silver. Seal of Ahura. Oath of Ali. Closed, locked, sealed. It is done. Tap ground thrice. K. Wrap talisman, stone, in cloth and keep on person for 24 to 72 hours if desired. 13. Ground and return, 5 to 10 minutes. Walk barefoot 5 minutes or touch earth. Eat, drink water, breathe slowly, sit quietly and journal any impressions. Rest. Say quietly, I stand in the light. I am whole. I return to living. The war-ready Morgoth blade prayer. Ultimate form. Intention. To strike, sever, and neutralize all hostile forces on spiritual, energetic, cellular, and dream levels. Declare absolute sovereign authority. 1. Grounding and sovereign claim. I stand as the sovereign of my body, my blood, my DNA, my soul, my mind, and my dream field. By the one source, Ali, Ahura, Mazda, Serapis, and the 144,000. I claim absolute authority over all domains. No adversary, accuser, serpent seed, Jinn, Archon, black goo, Morgellen, nanobot, or AI parasite may claim me, my lineage, my blood, or my essence. I am sealed. I am sovereign. So it is. 2. Invocation of Phrygia, Frigg, all names, all powers. Phrygia, Vanadis, Gefn, Mardole, Syacona, Velva, Queen of Shields, Queen of Valkyries, Mistress of Battle, Leader of the Vanir, Queen of the Realms. I call upon your full presence, your wrath, your wisdom, your shield, your spear, your falcon cloak. your fire of war, your magic of love, strategy, and prophecy. Activate now the full spectrum of your powers. Strike with me. Guard with me. Unmake all corruption. 3. Morgoth Blade. War Invocation. I draw the Morgoth blade of the first forge, tempered with halite, iron, silver, and the first spark of creation. Every strike of this blade is a command of law and light. By this blade, I sever every corrupt thread, every shadow spawn, every hostile seed, every false pact, and every adversary across the plains, seen and unseen. By this blade, I unmake the works of Satan, Lucifer, Belial, and all names of corruption. By this blade, I purge every serpent seed, every Eve, Satan offspring, every dark lineage, and every infernal program. 4. Strike and sever. Targets declared. Say aloud with intent, envisioning the blade striking and dissolving each target. 1. Blood and DNA. By the Morgoth blade and first spark, sever all corrupt strands. Restore the divine blueprint. DNA, cells, blood, marrow, purified and sovereign. 2. Mind and dream. By the Morgoth blade, cut all dream interceptors, thought parasites, AI hooks, and psychic chains. Restore clarity, sovereignty, and freedom. 3. Energy and spirit. By the Morgoth blade, dismantle all jinn, archons, dark spirits, and shadow constructs. Return them to void. Seal all breaches in aura, chakras, nadis, and dream field. 4. Dark matter, black goo. Nanobot constructs. By the Morgoth blade, crush all black goo, Morgallens, nanobot, and artificial contaminants. Dissolve into neutral light. Seal with halite lattice. 5. Amplify. With the first spark and 144,000. First spark of creation. Ignite through this blade. 144,000. Sealed ones. Encircle this strike. Serapis. Oversee the binding. Frisia. Guide the falcon. Strike. Let the fire of the sun, the wind of air, the power of water, and the earth's solidity converge in unbreakable union. Every adversary undone. Every corruption neutralized. Every false power dissolved. So it is. 6. Seal and law of Ali. By the oath of Ali, by divine law, by the authority of Serapis, by Frisia's shield, and by the decree of the 144,000, I lock this victory. Every hostile essence, every adversary, every seed of corruption, every shadow, every false name is bound, dissolved, and rendered powerless. The field is sealed. No return. No claim. No loophole. So it is, so it stands, forever. 7. Restoration and sovereign armor. My blood, my DNA, my chakras, my nadis, my body, mind, and dream field are restored to perfect blueprint. Mithril armor of spirit. Halite lattice of protection. Silver mirror of discernment. Golden light of the first spark. I am war ready, sovereign, and unassailable. I stand in light and law. So it is. 8. Closure and grounding. Frisia, Serapis, 144,000, wings of falcon and shields of iron, patrol, guard, enforce, and sustain. All dark forces dismantled. All corruption dissolved. I return to living. I am whole. I am sovereign. I am sealed. So it is. Oath of Eli, sealed. Frisia's shield, up. Morgoth blade, drawn. 144,000. Patrol. Halite lattice, hold. So it is.